All right, so I've got a very basic question to ask you today.
Yeah.
How do you start learning a piece of music?
Well, I usually read through it a couple of times first, and then I write in fingering, and I start like looking at ways to approach it physically first, usually.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I just sort of do it all at once, I guess. After that.
I'm asking for a specific reason, and
Yeah.
I'm groping towards this. I'm not sure. This is all sort of hazy.
Yeah.
It's always hard to assess what's going on in another person anyway, because you do so much projecting
Yeah.
of yourself onto the other person. I notice that when we work on things, and the work is in an early stage,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of musical stuff that isn't happening.
Yeah.
But then when I catch you later in the phase of learning it,
Mm-hmm.
it's so musical. It's the absolute antithesis of that. It's completely musical.
Yeah.
And my query is, when does the music get injected into it?
Yeah.
Is it a gradual process of discovery? How does it work for you?
I think I always sort of know. Well, I think it is a gradual process of sort of discovering.
What was the other thing you were going to say?
Well, I think I also kind of know how I want it to sound musically, and I just don't feel confident until I feel like I know it better. And I get hung up on the physical aspect. So until my fingers can kind of play it, I don't really know how to make the music come out.
This is great. You just gave the world's best analysis of Allegra. Let's see. I'm going to try to say back what you just said. I do know pretty quickly what I want musically out of it, but I get hung up on the physical stuff, and you use the word confidence. I'm not confident that I could get the music. Well, Phil, finish that phrase. I'm not confident that I get the musical stuff right away.
Yeah, that my instinct is right.
And one of the things that's happened to you over the last few years is your center of gravity has gone a little from the physical side over to the trusting that you have musical insight side.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering whether over the next few years there might be also a slight shift from learning the notes first, type physical stuff first, that then gives you the right to be musical. You could have the right to be musical all along. You don't have to. It's like you're trying to prove that you're worthy of being musical by knowing the piece so well that you're impervious to criticism or anybody else is doubting you. And you're really good at that, Allegra. You're so good at that.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is I'm very much a perfectionist. So I feel like if I don't have control over it and I can't, I don't feel like I've sort of mastered all of the technical aspects, and I don't allow myself to be musical with it.
Wow. Notice you use the word allowed yourself.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out certain terminology you're using. Confidence, I'm not allowing myself.
Yeah.
Here's something I noticed yesterday. This was a very typical lesson that we've had in the past. You start playing a new piece. I'm thinking now of the Mozart slow movement more than the Beethoven. And there's certain things that expressively are not happening. And I'm sort of saying, oh, it's just F-A-C-F-A. Why isn't she getting that? And so I'm scratching my head. Then I say something to you about it, and then poof, you're able to do it. And my guess is that you didn't do it because I showed you something that wasn't there before in your mind. My guess is I just gave you some sort of permission to affect a switch in the order of priorities. Oh, I can go for the phrase and at the same time that I'm going for the notes.
Yeah.
And something else happened yesterday, which is that some of the technical difficulty of the passage when you were first reading it evaporated when you went for the musical instead of the technical. And that's another thing to bear in mind.
Yeah.
Because you are very disciplined. I don't know why in my right mind I would want to change that. Good. It's really one of your greatest assets. But there is this other theme about trusting yourself more and more, that you have something original to say, and you don't have to earn the right. I mean, there's a great line in Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay on self-reliance about speak your latent convictions today, otherwise somebody else is going to say them back to you tomorrow, and they're going to come like, what was it? Wounded, I forget. I mean, they're going to look at you and say, you should have said me when you had the chance.
Yeah.
And why be in a position where some piano teacher in Mill Valley is telling Allegra how to phrase something? You know how to phrase it, probably. So, I'm not saying that my work with you in any way is preconditioned on there being any change in this. You're finding your own way, and one thing I've learned to trust, and I've trusted your process over the years. I just know you get better and better. All right, so now I want to do a little something different, and you opened the door on this a little when you said yesterday about, what did you say? I think I should study something. It wasn't theory exactly, or maybe it was
repertoire.
Repertoire.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Isn't that interesting? I sort of heard what I wanted to hear.
Well, I also mean theory. I just sort of want to study music in general, like study scores and kind of learn the great repertoire. Because I hardly know any orchestral repertoire well. I mean, I can recognize a lot of pieces, but I don't really know them. So I really want to study scores of orchestral repertoire and opera and, the great quartets and that kind of thing.
That's wonderful.